Today Netflix has released a new 10-part limited drama series about one of America's most notorious serial killers, Jeffrey Dahmer, and the show is trending online. Some readers might be too young to remember Dahmer, who murdered 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991, the first when he was just 18 years old, while others will recall his 1992 sentencing and his death in prison 2 years later. He was murdered by a fellow inmate. It seems a particularly gruesome subject matter to tackle. The Milwaukee Monster, as Dahmer came to be known, engaged in necrophilia and cannibalism and would often preserve body parts of the people he killed. But producer Ryan Murphy, who created, directed and wrote Nip/Tuck, Glee, Pose an American Horror Story, has taken on the challenge, choosing to focus on the stories of the victims and their families, rather than the murders themselves. There is also another story to be told. Authorities were accused of negligence and 2 police officers were reportedly even fired for a decision made regarding Dahmer. The synopsis of Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, says it details the systemic racism and institutional failures of the police that allowed one of America's most notorious serial killers to continue his murderous spree in plain sight for over a decade. Netflix. However, some critics weren't entirely persuaded by Murphy's attempt at a more moralistic angle. Ryan Murphy's Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story leads so far into the grisliness that you will feel your gag reflex kick in within minutes. It's an unflinching chronicle of unspeakable evil and appears to have set itself a challenge of being entirely unwatchable, said The Telegraph. It's hard to see the value of delving into the agony and ecstasy of Jeffrey Dahmer, it added. Earlier, when the trailer dropped, Screen Rant said it includes some harrowing images that suggest a very dark tone for the series, including a scene where the titular serial killer cradles a corpse and another where he's serving up a human meat sandwich, set to a distorted version of Yezu's 1982 hours. Speaking about taking on the role, in an interview shared on Ryan Murphy Productions' Twitter account, Peter said, "Honestly, I was very scared about all of the things that he did, and diving into that and trying to commit to that was absolutely going to be one of the hardest things I've ever had to."